morning. I want to share today from the book of Amos in the Old Testament. I'm going to be reading from chapter 9, going from verse 1 to verse 10. I saw the Lord standing beside the altar, and he said, "Smite the capitals so that the thresholds will shake, and break them on all the heads of them all. Then I will slay the rest of them with the sword. They will not have a fugitive who will flee, or a refugee who will escape. Though they dig to Sheol, from there will my hand take them. And though they ascend to heaven, from there I will bring them down. Though they hide on the summit of Carmel, I will search them out and take them from there. And though they conceal themselves from my sight on the floor of the sea, from there I will command the serpent, and it will bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, from there I will command the sword that it slay them. And I will set my eyes against them for evil and not for good. The Lord of hosts, the one who touches the land so that it melts, and all those who dwell in it mourn. And all of it rises up like the Nile, and subsides like the Nile of Egypt. The one who builds his upper chambers in the heavens, and has founded his vaulted dome over the earth. He who calls for the waters of the sea, and pours them out on the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. Are you not as the sons of Ethiopia to me, O sons of Israel, declares the Lord. Excuse me. Have I not brought up Israel from the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Arameans from Kir? Behold, the eyes of the Lord are on the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth. Nevertheless, I will not totally destroy the house of Jacob, declares the Lord. For behold, I am commanding, and I will shake the house of Israel among all nations. As grain is shaken in a sieve, but not a kernel will fall to the ground. All the sinners of my people will die by the sword, those who say, the calamity will not overtake or confront us." So, pretty stark, huh? This whole 10 verses is basically telling us that no matter what, God is eventually going to judge the world. No one's going to be able to hide. Nobody's going to be able to get their way out of it. So, but he does say in verses 8 through 10, that he's not going to destroy all of the house of Jacob. So, basically what that is those are the believers. It's how I take this in our day and age. Those who believe in Jesus Christ are going to be the ones, are going to be those kernels who will not hit the floor when he shakes up all of mankind during his judgment. So, it's something that you don't hear a lot out of church and in churches about is judgments. I don't know why it's a negative thing to preach about Judgment Day and about judgment in our churches these days. But I mean, this is something that's real. It's something that's going to happen. It's not a what if. It will happen eventually. And we need to be mindful of that. And we need to reach out to those who don't know the Lord and share the gospel with them. Let them know that Jesus was born of a virgin, died, lived a sinless life, then died on the cross for our sins. He shed his blood. He became sin for us. Then was buried and rose from the grave 3 days later, and then eventually he ascended to heaven 40 days after showing himself to certain people. That way we have the witnesses written down of his resurrection. You know, it's something that kind of disturbs me a bit because things like this need to be taught. We need to talk about this. You know, this is an unavoidable event that will happen, and if we are not followers of Christ, we will be the ones that, like you said, will go up to heaven, but then they'll get cast down because they don't know Christ. So, no, it's kind of a dark little sharing that I had today, but I felt it was a very important one. We need to reach others for Christ so that they don't suffer the fate of judgment, as the Lord described it in Amos. Anyways, I hope somebody takes this to heart, and I pray that it affects somebody, and I pray that maybe somebody, because of this, might reach out to Christ and ask for his life, or ask for Christ to come into their lives. Anyways, God bless y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.